Well, we got two great guests in studio today and a website to point you to learn more information. It's Home for Our Troops, HFOTUSA.org. And coming up on Saturday, it is the community kickoff as Home for Our Troops works to build the project for Marine Sergeant Franklin and looking to get him and his wife into their forever home. And on the air with us today, it is 35th District Representative Dan Griffey and from Sierra Pacific Industries, Lisa Perry. Good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How about that weather forecast? Isn't it? It's just have a typical Northwest 4th of July, isn't it?
You know what?
We wouldn't want anything different.
I know.
We couldn't
right?
get a sunburn on 4th of July, right?
We can't do that.
Gotta get the clouds in there.
beautiful.
Lisa, how are you doing?
I'm great.
Good.
Yeah.
Good to see you in here. And you guys came to me and says, listen, have you heard about this? And we had done some reporting on it when it first came out, but it is this weekend, Saturday. 10 a.m. check-in begins at 9:30. And again, this is Home for Our Troops. How did you guys get involved with this? And what's Sierra Pacific's involvement with it?
Well, actually, Representative Griffey is the one who called us and said that he'd been to this opening up in Kitsap and was really excited about this group, and they were thinking about doing a house in Shelton. So we contacted him right away. We were excited for it.
Yeah.
And so our foundation has approved a grant to provide all the lumber for the house and all the windows.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome, man.
I'd not heard of the charity for probably a good reason. They do all of their advertising internal, so it's word of mouth. So they called my office and asked if I'd like to give a speech at the housewarming party for the other soldier that they did a house for. And I checked into them, and they're an amazing charity. Almost all of the money they raise goes right into building special homes for these soldiers that have lost body parts. You know, their kind of mission is to where the soldier can feel safe and comfortable in their house and not have to wear any of their prosthetics.
Oh, wow.
While they're in their home.
Oh, that's awesome.
So if they chafe and they hurt and that sort of thing, and so what they do is they totally customize the house specific to the disabilities or the missing body parts, if you will, that these soldiers have. And I was really proud of that. And I looked into, you know, how much of the money goes into the next home, and how if they raise money locally to pay for the home, that they'll just transfer it to the next soldier's home, and they have the next one is already planned around Lewis County, I believe. And so I thought, who better than the people that make what these houses are made out of here locally to be a real local champion. And so I called Lisa, and Lisa, you know, did her proper vetting and found out, yeah, this is a pretty amazing charity. So I'm so proud of Sierra Pacific for supplying lumber for this home, and maybe we can transfer the money to make sure the next soldier's home gets built.
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
A little bit of the backstory on this. Sergeant Franklin joined the Marines because he felt like he needed to do something to protect and defend our country on October 15th, 2011. During his second deployment with the Kilo Company, 3rd Battalion, 7th Marines, Sergeant Franklin was returning from a night observation post. He stepped on an improvised explosive device in Sangin, Afghanistan, and the blast resulted in the loss of both his legs and 2 fingers on his right hand. And as you mentioned, how customizable these homes are, no 2 injuries are the same. I mean, they really have got to new blueprints every time for to make sure these soldiers are.
Some of the backstory was that he hasn't been in a house that's had wide enough doors for his wheelchair and things to go through, so he hasn't been able to get into the kitchen or anything like that in his wheelchair. So this is going to be a big step up for his family.
What are some of the other ways that the community, not only showing their support at the kickoff at 10 on Saturday, but how else can they, other than donating and things like that, can get involved or help out?
So Homes for Our Troops. So first of all, come on Saturday. We want to see the community out there in force, because then you can meet them and you can vet the charity for yourself and really understand that what Lisa and I are telling you is from the heart. We believe in this charity, and what they're doing is an amazing job. So show up. You can get on the list because they're going to have many opportunities to help out with the house. They'll have several opportunities for building days to where you can help a little bit like, not exactly like, but a little bit like Habitat for Humanity's
Oh, okay.
approach.
Oh, very cool.
They will have blessing days where you can go in there and sign all the stud lumber. Once it's
Oh,
up, they'll
cool.
also have landscaping days where the community can come and help do landscaping and sort of thing.
They do most of the building work with the general contractor, but landscaping days and special days are for that. Yeah, and we'd really like to see the community step up on Saturday because they're going to do a full military escort in from him. They're going to muster over in the Safeway parking lot and then escort him in, and he's going to be there to tell a story. So I think it'd be really fun.
Oh, that will be fun.
On the website, hfotusa.org, right there on the top, you see the banner that talks about the community kickoff here. It also has check-in at 9:30, time at 10. It also says the Civic Center, but there's some other gatherings. You said the Safeway too?
The Safeway, it's a military escort is mustering there, and then they're going to
Okay.
bring them over. So they're telling the public to come to the Civic Center.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Civic Center at
Yeah.
10 or a little bit before that on Saturday morning. Is this something Sierra Pacific looks to do a lot in the community? I'm always seeing you guys presenting the big checks to the different organizations.
Love my big checks.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's one of the missions of the company is the foundation is to improve the communities we're in. And then when we get a kind of a double bonus where we get to support a true American hero. I mean, we have had a lot of people just want to be involved in this because of that. Like our security company is almost all veteran owned, so they're veteran employees, and so they're excited about being involved in this. So we're trying to get everybody at the plant involved also. So that's kind of like a
awesome.
double bonus.
Yeah,
So,
that's real cool.
That is cool.
Very nice. Well, it was good to talk with you guys and get us involved in letting the community know about this. Homes for Our Troops community kickoff for Sergeant Franklin is Saturday, this Saturday the 7th, 10 a.m. with check-in at 9:30 at the Civic Center. You can also learn more at hfotusa.org/Franklin. We'll put the links in the show notes. And if anybody in the 35th that you represent has questions or concerns or anything, they can always get in touch with your legislative office.
Absolutely. This is definitely legit for calling the legislative
Yeah.
office, but they can also call me on my cell phone. It's published on my website.
Very
Nice.
nice. 35th District Representative Dan Griffey, and from Sierra Pacific, Lisa Perry. Good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good to see
Nice
you.
seeing you.
For July. And
You
we'll
too.
see you around here.